We thought when drafting the program, it would make sense indeed to also look into the quality assurance associations. We are always talking about quality assurance at the end, but we never talk about actually going on in those associations and how, with their work, they contribute to make sure that product on the market actually have a unique or proper USP and also are able to fulfill all the norms, standards, and requirements. I mean, it doesn't help if in public procurement or tendering processes there are criteria stipulated that nobody can fulfill. So that is why I wanted to give you an insight in the work that we do. So this is about sustainable development, which is without alternative when it comes to quality assurance. This is not what we came up with. This is a commitment by RAL to show that sustainability is particularly important for quality seals and needs to be reflected in the work of the quality assurance associations. We took on this idea and introduced it or incorporated it rather into quality seals. Usually quality seals represented a buzzword, which is the longevity of the product. So the continuous serviceability. I mean, this is just something that needs to be fulfilled. So why do you want a quality seal? You have to pay just pay more money for it. And of course, quality today is not only use or service, but characteristics in terms of environment and climate. This was already mentioned. So this is why a couple of years ago, I mean, a quality association is a democratic association. So on the members meeting, we agreed that those new quality characteristics, so environmental characteristics and interior climate, will be integrated into the quality seal. So RAL quality seal represents, of course, continuous serviceability, reliability, also interior climate and environmental compatibility. I mean, you can claim all of that, but how can you measure that? How can you test it? Because the principle of RAL is right that we have audits where we check our characteristics of our product. So we do that in the framework of so-called investigations that are controlled by the quality association. So we have an investigation across the entire or audit across the entire product portfolio, and we check whether in this product portfolio we can determine VCs or whether this product portfolio has certain environmental declarations and then we see whether they live up to the requirements of the quality seal. So this is how we shape the best conditions we believe that the quality seal can also represent certain criteria of sustainability that the product adheres to. So while reviewing the audit guidelines, we also said, okay, another quality um, parameter is the circularity. So a product needs to be able to be circled, to be fed into a circular loop. So a company operating according to those principles of circularity can easily prove that their own products can be fed back into a cycle. And the second important point is supply chains. So, and I'm not talking about the act of supply chains. I'm just talking about them in particular. What does this mean in our context? So, the pre-supplier, if you will, is delivering a component that needs to be VC free. Because if, as the ultimate consumer, you are then confronted with VSC, then this is a problem. And according to REACH, this is inadmissible because the pre-supplier has the obligation to render the information whether their products are emitting any kind of substances. So we need to make sure, because we are at the end of the chain, working at the end of the chain, that the previous steps in the value chain all adhere to the conditions stipulated by the quality seal. And this will be reflected once the quality seal spans across the entire value chain. Furthermore, the monitoring by the Quality Association will be enforced or reinforced rather, so that we will have bilateral talks with the companies to understand how we can optimize this. Because it's not only about the quality seal as an external representation, as an image, but the high impact of quality seals is is entirely somewhere else, which is that companies optimize their processes. So this is a huge benefit, that you have process optimization, or that you have a reduction in the price of deviation, if you will. And this is an economic or business factor. So in order to improve that, we need a stronger communication and exchange with our member companies in order to optimize those processes. And for that, the quality assurance approach is a very good instrument to achieve that. So this brings us to the core elements that are worked or incorporated into the HGZ 716. So it's third-party monitoring of the manufacturers and their products at least twice per year, sometimes when there's an exception, once per year. So this is just customary. This will not change. Nevertheless, we said we want to add collective monitoring for certain quality criteria. So as a quality association, we need to lead the way and use those RAL audits to make sure that we establish the conditions that the company can actually live up, or the manufacturer can actually live up to the requirements that we have. I already also mentioned a huge challenge for all certification institutes and also quality associations is that quality parameters need to be separated from normative requirements. There are some gray areas, let me put it that way, but it became clear we need to focus on the added value that goes beyond what is requested in any way, that needs to be fulfilled in any way. So quality seals are always on top. They start when the minimum requirements are fulfilled and then bring in their own quality requirements. I think this is a good communication that we should follow. And the fourth point, as a quality association that we already brought on the way, is that we have our internal work processes that we structure according to the ISO EN 17065. We are not an accredited certification institution, but we will work as we were one. The reason for that is quite simple and straightforward, because we want to cooperate also with European partners. So we need to fulfill those requirements. So we don't only need quality assurance in and of itself, but certification also needs to be subject to neutral certification as it is requested by the EN 17065. Our internal organization will now be structured according to this standard, and we also issue the corresponding management manual. So those are the four great novelties in our quality association, and I think this puts it on the right path for the future. So another point that is very important, and I'm looking all the way there to my colleague Hubert Hergé, whom I would like to invite on stage right now. Mr. Lager, if I may explain, is the director of the window segment within our association. Harmonization is essential, but it is also very difficult. Harmonization means that in those different certification trades or steps, we are certifying the same product. So we certify the same product. However, the regulations according to which we're doing so do differ. So, and this can lead to problems. So for the exchange of goods, it would be good if we made some progress in harmonization. we are auditing or have been doing so for more than 12 years together in cooperation with Como. What we are now pursuing is a new approach, a new project. It is going rather slowly because I said it's not that easy. We try to come up with a shared quality and audit guideline for sealing products. We have a memorandum of understanding, and this marks the starting point, the kickoff, if you will. So when we drafted those guidelines, those shared guidelines, we, to a large extent, already stipulated the requirements that we're following. And now it's about auditing, monitoring, to enter into the implementation phase and also align with the corresponding institutes so that if the certificate is issued by the one association, the other one acknowledges it and can also issue the same certificate. So this would mark a huge step forward because with less effort, you can achieve the same result. Once again, the basic condition is that we have a shared document of rules and regulations that we've been working on for quite some time, and that we is now right on the way. And if we will be successful, if we are successful, then we would make a huge step forward in terms of harmonization when it comes to quality assurance in France and Germany, maybe tomorrow in the Netherlands and beyond. So we are pioneering in this regard, and we're trying our very best to make headway. Thank you very much. So it was important for me to be on stage here together so that we're not only talking about it, but that we're showing that we actually walk the talk and that we're driving things forward here. Right. Another important aspect in quality assurance are the industry project that we've started because we can draw huge impetus from that because projects that affect all can be approached via a shared technical platform, which is the quality um, association. So we started a project as an industry project, which is the cleaning of PVC surfaces. This project is taking place in cooperation with 4 additional institutes. So the Quality Association for Cleaning Facades in Schwäbisch Gmünd, the EFT Rosenheim, the Institute for Surface Technology in Schwäbisch Gmünd, and the University of Applied Sciences in Rosenheim. So together we want to solve a very important problem. Here I see Mr. Siever, he is familiar with the problem and he also addressed it before in our little discussion round. So surface modification, surface coloring is a huge source for problems. And the question is, okay, how do we handle the proper detergents, cleaning agents? What's the right concentration? And what's the proper method of cleaning? So, in order to make progress in this very complex topic, we said, okay, we got to bundle our forces. So, the 3 institutes and the 2 quality associations that possess a lot of know-how and expertise in this regard. And we are investigating in this project 20 different recipes with over 10 substances within or from the category of cleaning agents. We are testing for tolerability and we want to identify products that we can then in a second step check for quality and certify. So then in the second step, what's also relevant is how do you properly clean so that you do not damage with your cleaning process or method. So cleaning must not damage the product. This is a very important point. And we also want to then put this down in writing in a proper document for maintaining quality of the product while cleaning. So And so far, it is the Association in Schwäbisch that is working on those documents so that we can equip cleaning agents with a quality seal as well as cleaning methods. So we have now obtained some public funding for this work, and we expect to make some headway here so that we can truly tackle and address the problem of wrongly or false cleaning methods for PVC surfaces. Another very important project in the industry also comes from innovation. You probably already know that we have more modern welding procedures of uh, PVC corner joints, and that they're becoming ever more public and known. So the question is now whether those welding procedures in over time fulfill our quality requirements. I mean, this is a claim that do we have. Do those modern welding technologies fulfill our quality requirements? This is something that is very important for us. So this is why we approached the manufacturers who manufacture those welding machines and asked them to take part in a test series and even better become a part of our quality association and really make some progress. We conducted our first trial and test. Here you can see a curve. This is the logarithmic representation. If you were to linearize it, then you can see a huge difference at the beginning in the different strengths at the beginning. So after many load cycles, if you will, the curves are running or merging together. So this means you simply have a difference in the various welding procedures. And this is something that we have to take into account. And then once again, ask, do these different methods fulfill the requirements in terms of quality assurance? As I said, the project was not stopped yet. To the contrary, we're keeping up with testing and trials. We're taking on more welding methods because, as a quality association, we want to have an overview over those new technologies, in particular when it comes to the long term behavior of those welding joints. Another project is our master data project. It also has a kind of a magnitude, and that is why it should not only remain within the quality association. We developed a master data catalog that can be filled by all system houses, and this catalog is a standard, so all important technical data, business data can be entered into this catalog, and then via a data interface can be integrated into the window manufacturer software. So this was our basic idea, um, to achieve ultimately standardization and simplification so that ideally in the far future we can have an interface with BIM. This is a huge vision, and I have to admit we're only at the beginning. We did our part, that's what I can say. So we came up with the catalog, we established the data interface, and now we have ongoing talks with the provider of window construction software and ask them to use this interface and then give us the data. So the huge benefit is this could enable automation to a large extent. I mean, this is what you want if you have data processing, right? That automation helps everybody in their further work steps so that you can use this master data and those catalogs for further purposes. Very large project or roughly two projects that I would like to mention here, a little bit also as sort of an outlook. So this is fire prevention, in particular when it comes to smoke development. If you look at the member states, then you can see that there is a tendency to specify different requirement profiles. So we want to provide proper material or argumentation of food for thought. So we said, okay, we're going to check the entire product portfolio across all variations when it comes to PVC window systems, coated, painted. So everything is taken into account and is tested or audited for fire protection and prevention so that we get a clear cut classification. Ideally, we can confirm it and can offer it. And also to identify the levers that we have when it comes to develop certain products that need to adhere to certain criteria that make up a certain class. We will, of course, make recurse to various other European studies and tests and will form an expert task force at European level so that we can basically speak one language when it comes to the topic. So once again, a very large scale project, very broad scope, requires a lot of alignment and exchange, but we need to become better in European classification when it comes to smoke emissions, smoke development, and fire prevention. Otherwise, we we will not be successful in those discussions at national level. Another project was created by various communal projects that were publicly funded. The city of Düsseldorf launched a program which is now also available in Aachen and Cologne. So this is a program for PVC windows, and this is for us a novelty because, in particular, when it comes to public procurement, PVC windows were not a priority, to put it very diplomatically. So this now is a door opener. However, the requirement is that PVC windows need to have a high recycled material content, namely 55%. This is quite a challenge for the system houses. They need to have the right profile, and it is not that easy to offer such profiles that they actually fit the profile and meet the requirement. So, and to meet all the other requirements and also the requirement of 55% recycled material, of course, in terms of sustainability and environmental protection, this is a step forward that the communities are focusing on this aspect now and launching corresponding projects. We are happy that we were able to catch on to that, and now in our product development are searching for solutions to provide the products that we are asked for. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the short overview that I wanted to give you today, that what we're doing in the Quality Association, what we're working on. Of course, we have a strong focus on further developing quality assurance, certification, and quality parameters and characteristics. And of course, we're also strongly focusing on cooperation with all the different quality associations involved in window construction. And next to state of the art, of course, we have those industry projects that we are driving as a community, as an association, so that we further develop our products so that we can meet the requirements and demands specified by the market as a quality association. And this concludes my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.